Right now this morning, Governor Evers faces Republican criticism over proposed gender-neutral language in the state budget, what the governor says about the controversial changes to IVF terminology. And the cast of UW Lacrosse's Much Ado About Nothing joins us live in studio. Shakespeare with a Mediterranean twist opens Friday.
Plus, we've got a walk on the warm side as we go into warmer temperatures again today. A wintry mix comes in later on this evening. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Tuesday, February 25th. Art is in a great mood this morning. Is it the warm-up?
What you talking about?
What is it? You've got so much energy.
This is what I'm like in warm weather.
Oh, okay.
That's not above 85.
You're defrosting.
Oh, hey, I like that. Hey, as we get into your local forecast, we have some quiet weather for you today. We're also looking at temperatures in the 20s and the 30s this early morning. Then eventually, we're going to get back to the 40s and 50s for your local forecast. Temperatures will be maybe up to about 51, 52 degrees for most part. All right, so we get into that wintry mix later on in the evening hours, and that carries over all the way through Wednesday. Right now, what we've got going on is that moisture we had today, it's now scooting off over across the Lake Michigan area. Now it's gone. We're also picking up some breezy conditions and some clouds starting to sneak in gradually. We'll take it to partly cloudy skies this early morning, then eventually we'll get to cloudy skies once we get into the early evening hours before that rain starts to pop in the picture. Current temperatures for you right now, we've got some 20s and 30s in there right now, 29 in La Crosse. We're looking at 31 in Eau Claire. What it feels like on your skin though, yikes, feels like 24 as you get into Eau Claire, feels like 24 down in La Crosse. Prairie du Chien feels like about 30 degrees, same for Boscobel. We've got that moisture coming off the Pacific out of Portland, continues around the northern tier of the United States. High pressure is building and keeping most of that moisture well up to the north. Denver's barely getting some of that. Eventually it's heading our way, and then we'll get into conditions that are going to be beneficial for us, getting a little bit of snow in the forecast. When I come back, I'll give you a better overview of how this all shapes up. Stick around.
We begin now with the latest on Pope Francis. The Vatican says the 88-year-old pontiff is still in critical condition this morning, but is showing slight improvement. Yesterday, the Pope received the Eucharist and resumed working from his suite at Rome's Gemelli Hospital. Overnight, thousands of Catholics gathered in St. Peter's Square for the first of nightly rosary prayers. And the bishop in La Crosse reacting, saying, quote, "I ask the people of the Diocese of La Crosse and all of our neighbors of goodwill to pray for Pope Francis in his time of need," end quote. On Alaska police, meanwhile, identifying the man who fired shots at an apartment complex. That is 54-year-old Kevin McDowell. Investigators say an argument led to gunfire at the Broad Street apartment parking lot. One bullet hit McDowell's vehicle, another striking the garage. Police have responded, they say, multiple times for McDowell's erratic behavior. He's now facing several charges. And a warning from local health officials this morning after a deadly Oakdale gas leak. The Monroe County Sheriff responded Sunday to find 2 people, including a juvenile, and 2 pets dead. The tragedy highlights the hidden dangers that could be in your home.
You can't see them, so you don't always know, like smoke, if you do have a leak.
Experts say recognizing these warning signs could save your family's life. And remember, headaches, nausea, and the smell of rotten eggs, all signs to get out of your house and call 911. One person is dead following a crash in the city of Altoona Sunday. Police say the vehicle was traveling north on 3rd Street East when it lost control, left the roadway, and slammed into a train car. The driver died on the scene. Police say alcohol and speed were a factor. And a barn is a total loss after a fire in Holman. Crews there found it fully engulfed on Sunday. Nobody was hurt and no word on a cause. Don't be alarmed by an increased police presence at the Whitehall Fire Station today and tomorrow. The Trumbull County Sheriff says it is conducting training from 2 to 8 p.m. Officers may be carrying weapons and equipment, and residents might hear loud noises, but no live ammunition will be fired. Protesters filling the Iowa state capitol yesterday as a bill removing all mentions of gender identity advanced through a state subcommittee. If passed, that bill would eliminate protections for transgender and non-binary people and would allow Iowans to refuse services based solely on gender identity. The legislation now moves to a full assembly vote before potentially reaching the governor's desk. And Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers facing criticism this morning over language in the state budget bill. The controversy centers on gender references in the IVF section. The measure replaces mother with inseminated person and husband with spouse. Republicans quickly condemning that terminology. The governor explaining his position.
We're working for the families in Wisconsin, especially those that are receiving IVF services, and making sure that we can make certain that the mom is able to get the services she deserves.
Republicans say the bill's language is offensive to mothers and that the governor is out of touch with ordinary citizens. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin held a Medicaid roundtable. Congressional Republicans are proposing 2 significant changes to Medicaid: work requirements for recipients and reduced federal funding. These proposals could lead to billions in program cuts. Baldwin warns the reductions would hit seniors especially hard.
When you're talking about those types of dollars, he's not talking about eliminating waste or fraud or abuse. This goes much deeper into the very programs that you champion.
Baldwin says she put forward an amendment to stop benefit cuts to seniors, but that was rejected by Senate Republicans. More than 1.2 million Wisconsinites receive health care coverage through Medicaid. And federal employees facing a new deadline to submit work accomplishments after Elon Musk extended Monday's cutoff. Still threatening job cuts, though, for noncompliance. Confusion growing as President Trump's OMB questions who's checking this work and if it's actually required. Meanwhile, the president expressed optimism about ending Russia's 3-year war with Ukraine during talks with French officials. CBS's Jared Hill reports.
From the Oval Office, President Donald Trump praised Elon Musk for his email to nearly 2 million federal workers threatening terminations if they don't send in a list of 5 things they did at work last week.
There was a lot of genius in sending it. We're trying to find out if people are working.
Hours before the Monday deadline, Musk ordered an extension, warning failure to respond a second time will result in termination. But then confusion after Trump's Office of Personnel Management sent a memo to federal agency heads saying it was up to them to determine how to handle the DOGE directive. Some have already told workers not to respond. The massive cuts of thousands of federal employees has sparked outrage. Voters are confronting Republican members of Congress during town halls back in their home districts.
Obviously, people are mad, and we're mad too.
The unrest at home comes as President Trump met with French President Emmanuel Macron at the White House, expressing optimism that a deal to end Russia's war in Ukraine could be just weeks away. Now 3 years after it all began.
A lot of good things toward peace are happening.
Both leaders agreed to establish a peacekeeping force in Ukraine if and when a deal is reached. But the president continues to split with European allies on blaming Russia for the war.
This is the responsibility of Russia because the aggressor is Russia.
Later, Russian President Vladimir Putin signaled that a peace deal could be further away than Trump's proposed timeline. President Trump is set to host British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, another key European ally, later this week.
On the trade front, President Trump yesterday said he believes Ukraine is close to signing a minerals deal with the U.S. The president also said planned 25% tariffs on all imports from Canada and Mexico still scheduled to start next month, following a month-long pause. And WisDOT is issuing an alert this morning about online car buying scams. The agency reports a surge in fraud. They say scammers are creating fake dealership websites and social media pages. Then they post vehicles at suspiciously low prices to lure their victims. WisDOT recommends checking their active dealers list to verify an online seller is legit before you buy anything. And the Onalaska School District will interview superintendent candidates in closed-door meetings today. Former Superintendent Todd Antony stepped down last November after 5 years on the job. The district used focus groups to determine desired qualities for the next superintendent. If you still have a fish house on one of Minnesota's frozen lakes, the DNR wants you to make a plan to remove it. The deadline to remove shelters is a week away for the lower 2/3 of the state, March 17th if you are fishing up north. Kristen Mitchell spoke with some anglers who are getting ahead of the melt.
Medicine Lake is starting to return to its liquid form. But anglers like Ryan Lenski and Jared Bodsgard couldn't pass up the chance to cast a line in nearly 50-degree weather.
Yeah, I went outside. My hands are comfortable without gloves, and it doesn't feel like February.
And no jackets.
No, yeah,
no
and I'm
jacket.
comfortable, which is nice.
Sweatshirt, there we're good.
The frigid temperatures the past few weeks helped build up the ice.
Yeah, we're about that much ice.
But with warmer weather, the Minnesota DNR says expect the stability to change. On March 3rd, owners of fish houses in the lower 2/3 of the state need to get their shelters off the ice.
With this really warm weather we have all of a sudden, the first place to really start to deteriorate on the ice is the access points by shore. People think there's good ice on the lake, and that's true, but you might not be able to get to the good ice. That's the problem.
If fish houses aren't removed by that deadline, the DNR says owners could be prosecuted and the structure could be confiscated and removed or destroyed by conservation officers.
It's going to get sloppy. I think a lot of people are probably taking their stuff off today.
DNR conservation officers will be out enforcing the deadline and making sure people take their trash with them too.
The biggest thing would be just to have a plan and pay attention to it.
Ryan and Jared may not have caught many fish today, but they certainly caught some much needed vitamin D.
There's people fishing, people out walking the dogs, skiing. Everybody was trying to get out today and get some sunshine.
And Eau Claire closing nearly all warming shelters and ice rinks due to the recent warm-up. Pinehurst Park is the only exception, continuing operations for sledding and gear sharing, but no ice skating allowed there either. Time now is 6:10. Still ahead on your morning news. Dodge's access to sensitive data at the U.S. Treasury remains blocked. Jo-Ann Fabrics is closing all U.S. stores, and the United States importing eggs from Turkey amid the current shortage.
There's a nationwide scam targeting drivers. I'm Karen Hua with a warning from federal authorities.
And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Chocoholics rejoice. Today is National Chocolate Covered Nut Day. Chocolate dipped nuts went mainstream in 1925 with Goobers candies named after slang for peanut. Today, peanut M&Ms reign supreme, introduced in 1954 and getting their colorful shells in 1960. The treat even offers some nutrition. Dark chocolate provides antioxidants, while nuts contribute healthy fats. Sounds good to me. As you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the city with the oldest continuously operated historical society in the South. That is Savannah, Georgia. Love Savannah. Great, great city. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is coming up.
Bad back? Get Good Feet with the personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store. Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet, good life. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Firefighters Credit Union has been offering home financing since before the advent of the internet. We have brick and mortar here in the community and have been around for nearly a century. With over 50 years of experience between Matt and Troy, we're local lenders here for you that you know and you trust.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
Get $3,000 total cash allowance on this 2025 Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $5,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit HometownChevy.com.
At Taco John's, we believe a better Taco Tuesday starts with better tacos. That means using 100% North American beef, cooking shells in-house daily, and a deal that makes you say, how are these only $1.29? Taco Tuesday is every Tuesday at Taco John's.
A child sex predator facing 100 years in prison after sexually assaulting 2 girls at the local pool. Just 6 and 7 years old, Susan Crawford, the radical liberal judge who let the predator out in just 4 years. For Susan Crawford, it's a pattern, putting pedophiles back on the street, free to prowl our pools and prey on our kids. Criminals are praying Susan Crawford gets elected because she fights for them, not us.
It's always been there, his love of the outdoors. Some days, you wonder if it might be his calling. Truth is, you know that the things he's passionate about today will build the foundation of what he does tomorrow and possibly inspire a new journey. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities. Unlimited opportunity.
Hey, Dominic here, and we always get asked, what do you have for fish and seafood? With over 40 blends at our outlet store, we recommend these 4. Seafood, Cajun, lemon pepper, and yes, chicken. Just take your fish or even shrimp, shake on your choice of seasoning, and cook thoroughly until done. Use any of these 4, and you'll have your guests coming back for more. And they're all low in sodium. Get these seasonings at the Pleasing Outlet Store on Ward Avenue, La Crosse. Fish eye!
Well, good morning to you and welcome back here as we get into quiet weather today. We're starting off on the colder side this early morning. By the time we get in the late morning hours, our temperatures and the feels like temperatures will start to feel a little bit closer together. Then we'll get into the afternoon. Temperatures will get back to at least some 40s and 50s, mostly those lower 50s happening down toward the south. We've got a low chance of showers coming back into the forecast until then, but for now we're going to be seeing tonight. We're holding on to rain and snow mix coming in as we get into about the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour, continuing all the way through the midnight hour. Then a low chance kicks in for another batch of that coming in from the northwest for Thursday. That carries over to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That too is about a 20% chance of that occurring. So a little on the light side. We have clouds that will be decreasing as we go through the morning hours into the afternoon as we get into Tuesday from mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies. Winona 32 degrees, La Crosse 29 degrees, 33 in Sparta, Eau Claire at 31. You're looking at 33 in Viroqua. Feels a little bit cooler on your skin though as you get right out there. Winona feels like 27, La Crosse feels like 24, Viroqua feels like 26, and Eau Claire feels like 24. So we're in the 20s as far as how it feels on your skin going outside. We'll also carry over with this, as you can see, going through the into the late morning hours. You're going to be seeing at least by 9 o'clock, holding on to the mid-morning to late morning hours, temperatures start to fluctuate, coming back again in the 30s and then the 40s. So the temperatures start to get a little bit simpatico with the feels like temperature. As far as visibility is concerned, we're doing all right. However, we're going to see a little bit of a change. Visibility will change as we go through the 5 o'clock hour, 6 o'clock hour, into the 8 o'clock hour. We're seeing more visibility kind of dropping for us as we go into the 8 o'clock hour. Back to you, Alexandra.
In our consumer news, the Department of Government Efficiency's access to Treasury Department data remains blocked. This continues despite conflicting rulings from federal judges. A Virginia judge refused to block Dodge's Treasury data access, but a New York federal judge extended her previous hold on Doge access. The Treasury Department must follow the New York ruling. This legal dispute could ultimately reach the Supreme Court. Jo-Ann Fabrics is now closing all of its stores. Wisconsin has 23 locations, including Onalaska and Eau Claire. The retailer filed for bankruptcy protection last month, you may remember, but its restructuring efforts failed, unfortunately. Jo-Ann operates 800 stores with 19,000 employees. Liquidation sales are underway. The current U.S. egg shortage is pushing businesses to seek international supply. The American Farm Bureau Federation reports that Turkey is the only country exporting eggs to the U.S. Turkey will send 420 million eggs to the U.S. this year. That is an all-time high. Avian flu has killed more than 140 million U.S. egg-laying birds since 2022, with 17 million lost in November and December alone. The latest scam sweeping the nation is trying to take money by convincing people they owe an unpaid toll. I know I've received so many of these texts. You may have too. Karen Hua explains the scam for us.
From North Carolina.
North Carolina residents are seeing that every couple of weeks, it feels like now.
To San Diego. Drivers across the country are receiving texts like this, threatening legal action if they don't pay an outstanding toll fee.
I've received it twice. The first time said that I owed a $6.99 toll fee.
Teresa Amaya got the text saying she needs to pay up to avoid a fine or even lose her license. She realized it was a scam.
Never used the toll road, so there's no reason for me to be receiving this message, obviously.
The fake texts are often sent from an international number and can include a link to pay. The Federal Trade Commission is warning people not to click on the link because it could be an attempt to gain access to your bank or credit card information. Scammers may also try to get personal information like passwords and PIN numbers. If you identify a text as fake, you can report it as junk and block the number. Chrissy Hernandez did just that, but the scammers found a workaround.
When I block the number, they send more the different phone numbers. It's incredible. They have many phone numbers.
So if you receive a text and have any questions, experts say don't use any contact info in that text. Instead, reach out directly to your state's tolling agency with a number or website that you know is real.
That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over now to News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got a look at our forecast.
All right, I'm back, and let's talk about this. Well, we'll call it low cloud activity. We're not really call it cloud cover right now in the way of fog. We'll see this continue to drop visibility locally, cutting across the Mississippi River here slowly but surely. Knocks the La Crosse down to about 9 miles of visibility going into the 8 o'clock hour. And you can also see areas up to the north, Ladysmith down to 3, some locations as well. We'll also see this kind of get better as we get towards the noon hour. Of course, by tomorrow, we'll start to see this come back again. You know, the rain that was here earlier this morning is kind of cutting out now, heading on out. We'll get into a view here of Menominee, back to it now that I have a better view of what's happening out there for you. 33 degrees out there, feels like it's 29 degrees. We'll also go right back into areas by Toma. If this is going to happen for us, we'll see if this pops up again, but it feels like it's 31 degrees, or I should say it's 31 degrees, feels like it's 27 degrees. Holding on to the wind chill that's going through today. That's happening this early morning, and we'll be residing in back or backing off by the time we get into the 11 o'clock hour, into the noon hour. We're looking at temperatures increasing as we go, or slowly but surely, as we go through La Crosse here from 7 a.m. all the way to the 10 o'clock hour. Not a big leap in local temperatures, still holding on to those 30s. Eau Claire getting from 30 all the way to 36 degrees, so not a whole lot of change. We've got some colder air that's still holding on as we start this early morning, and that's kind of sneaking into our forecast. You're going to see as we go right through the morning hours here, we're also picking up again going to the noon hour. You're looking at conditions to be around 39 to about, say, 46 degrees. Yikes. And then we'll go back in the 3 o'clock hour. You're looking at temperatures from 40 to about, say, 49 once you get into La Crosse, 51 degrees by Boscobel, 50 in Prairie du Chien, with Eau Claire at 42. These are your highs for the day. Then we'll see those clouds increase on us as we get into the evening hours, and they really jump up with those clouds. Moisture comes out of the west from Minneapolis and all the way down from Mankato. It crosses the Mississippi River, bringing it across into La Crosse. Now, see, it's even getting thinner than what I saw earlier about the 8 o'clock hour. It's more prevalent at 8 o'clock. Now you're seeing it come back again in the 1 o'clock hour, and that's for Eau Claire with a mix of rain and snow right there. That continues to try to drop down to the south by Winona, and that's as far as it goes. Yesterday, this was all the way down towards La Crosse and Viroqua, and we see it going into light to moderate showers as well, so that will be maybe a little pump up there for a little bit before it tracks out of Black River Falls, heads out to Wisconsin Rapids, and it's out of the area. And that's what's happening. Here comes the snow, though, again for 3 o'clock going into Thursday in the early morning hours. Clearing skies resume, and then eventually we start to clear out with a little bit more of that cloud cover well up to the north and bring in a little bit of light snow. That being said, we take a look at what's happening for you here. We go to the next few days with temperatures in the 40s, bumping up to 56 degrees for Friday, and then back down to 36 degrees. Yikes, a 20-degree difference. Warming you back up for Sunday, going into Monday and Tuesday with more rain and snow on the way. Be safe. Have a great day.
All right, Art, thank you. Still to come for us, how social media users helped save a toddler when doctors couldn't find answers. The surprising way TikTok led to this medical breakthrough.
Coming up next in the Blitz, Minnesota girls basketball teams hoping to keep their seasons alive in Rochester, plus a battle for the Scenic Bluffs Conference title in Hillsboro. Highlights just around the corner.
Brad Schimmel wants to take us back to an abortion ban from 1849, back to a ban with no exceptions, not for rape or even health of the mother. Brad Schimmel, too extreme for women, too extreme for the Supreme Court.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you. For you.
So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
It's time to say not so fast chronic kidney disease.
Because with a progressive disease like CKD, slow is good. And believe me, I know all about slow. That's why I'm here to tell you about Jardiance. It's a little pill proven to slow the progression of CKD and reduce the risk of kidney failure, which can lead to dialysis.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine, which can be fatal. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardiance may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired and pain, tenderness, swelling, or redness in the genital area. Don't use if allergic to Jardiance. Stop use if you have a serious allergic reaction. Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
So go on, say not so fast, CKD. Ask your doctor about Jardiance for chronic kidney disease.
Brad Schimmel let thousands of rape kits sit untested for years.
While rapists walked free and victims waited for justice.
Take it from a sheriff.
A sheriff.
A cop, Brad Schimmel's too extreme for the Supreme Court.
People seem to have a lot of opinions about cases based on a very short snapshot.
It's giving me a better understanding.
There's a lot of in between, and it's very complicated, and I want people to realize.
Wednesday at 6, a first-hand look at what goes into the difficult decisions in our justice system.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, back on Sunday, the boys' tournament brackets were released, and interestingly enough, the #1 ranked team in D5, Royal, was a 2 seed. They entered last night having beat every opponent by double digits this season. Going for a second straight Scenic Bluffs title, facing Hillsboro, who wants a share. Early first half, it's Trey Wild spotting up from the corner and drilling it, scoring the first points of the game. Home side trying to hang with the top team in the division. Miles Ravenscroft here hits on a little fadeaway to cut into the deficit, but then it's more success for Royal from distance. This time Carter Uppana pulling the trigger and buries it. Tiger's Zach Morin then answering back at the top of the key with a 3 of his own to pull Hillsboro closer. But the Panthers were not up for the idea of sharing that conference title. Landon Lipke puts it up and in for 2. Panthers take it handily and are 24-0 entering the postseason. Playoff time in Minnesota, Class 2A action. Caledonia facing Zumbrota Mazeppa, and this one was all Warriors. Sienna Ogdahl with a steal and easy deuce. Then off the miss from Aubrey Klug, Nicole Bancy's going to get it back and send it back to Klug, who hits from distance. Caledonia up 45-18. Warriors clicking against the Cougar zone defense. Josie Foster with a bullet pass to Jessica Stendel. Goes glass to increase the lead. A little later, it's Klug from long range again. Money in the bank. #5 in Class 2A rolls by a final of 66-25. Caledonia will return to action on Saturday. And it was #4 seed Rushford Peterson versus #5 seed Southland. First half action, Nadia Happel spots up on the wing and drills it from deep to draw first blood for the Trojans. Next play, it's Happel again, rinse and repeat. She connects, putting her squad up by 6. Now, if you're wondering what happens in the next possession, it's Happel again, putting on a show. 9 straight points for her, and it was Torrin Schneider's turn to light up the scoreboard. And it wouldn't stop there. Trojans roll past Southland 58-39. In the story, the Prairie du Chien girls, who are coming off a couple impressive wins last week, on our website, news8000.com, so check that out if you have not yet. That does it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
We've done many, many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
Winter temps have you down? Feel the heat at Chrysler Winona. If you've been worried about high car prices and affordability, look no further. We've got a special offering of 2024 Chevy Malibus with low miles that we're selling for thousands under book. Starting at $17,950, you can own one as low as $299 down and $299 per month. They're well equipped with heated seats, remote start, and factory warranty. Don't miss these hot prices, only for a limited time at Chrysler Winona, Highway 61 West, Winona.
Get a free tumbler and up to $200 in rewards cards during the President's Day sale at Home Furniture.
The fact that Brad Schimmel supports the 1849 law
terrifies me. When I was pregnant, I had complications, but because of the ban, doctors couldn't help me. Brad Schimmel has no idea what it's like to lay in a hospital bed, pregnant and dying. The 1849 law that Brad Schimmel supports almost killed me. Brad Schimmel is too extreme for the Supreme Court.
Ever feel like a spectator in your own life with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. In a survey, 91% of users wish they'd started sooner. So why wait? Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Chronic migraine may still keep you from being there. Ask your doctor about Botox today. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
It's the last week of voting for Best of La Crosse County, and the votes are very close. Log on to bestoflacrossecounty.com and vote for your favorites. Voting ends on February 28th, and winners will be announced on April 1st.
Here at Maxwell White, we know how valuable your time is. From issues with your hot water to slower clogged drains, our team is always on time with friendly service and solutions you can trust. Don't wait. Contact Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. In your morning medical news, a Missouri family credits TikTok with helping their 3-year-old daughter get a crucial diagnosis after she suddenly stopped walking. Jordan Burrell has the story for us.
With her not being mobile, that was a big red flag for me.
Rain Lee, a mother of 3 under 3, says earlier this month her 2-year-old daughter Willow just stopped walking.
Willow and Winnie, they always play with each other. They're known for walking down the hallway to their room.
And when that stopped, Lee says she knew something was wrong. As a young mother, she took to TikTok.
What is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who can I ask? You know, and I'm like, I can ask a million people, but at the same time, like if I post this video, I know on TikTok, you know, it's a nice platform. It's a lot of people on there, like nurses, doctors, just people, mothers.
The video blew up in hours with 30 million views today. The comments flooded with advice, guidance, but most importantly, a plea to the mother to take Willow to the hospital.
They say take her to the hospital. They say something is wrong, like this is serious. Let's do it.
Do not play about my daughter.
And then he told us that she was like diagnosed with rickets.
Rickets, a severe form of vitamin D deficiency, most commonly seen in children. Symptoms include delayed growth and motor skills, as well as muscle weakness.
I've never heard of rickets before. Like, I've never heard of it my whole life. We know rickets is very rare.
Rickets is more of a severe form of vitamin D deficiency.
Dr. Bacale says he hasn't seen a case of the bone disease in more than 10 years. In most cases, supplements can cure rickets. Willow now has a feeding tube to make sure she gets the nutrients she needs. With that and physical therapy, she's expected to make a full recovery.
I just want my daughter to know it's something that she will get through.
With the help of her parents, 2 sisters, and now her new family on TikTok.
It says, enjoy your gift. I saw your story on TikTok, and I wanted to purchase something that I thought she would enjoy.
And some other news to get to. The U.S. Supreme Court will not hear appeals seeking to eliminate buffer zones around abortion clinics. This decision keeps existing restrictions in place. Lower courts previously rejected both appeals, citing a 2000 Supreme Court ruling that upheld a similar Colorado law. 2 conservative justices dissented, stating they would have heard the cases. The new healthy food labeling standards set to begin today have been delayed. The Food and Drug Administration updated nutritional requirements for healthy packaging claims last year, but President Trump issued a regulatory pause last month. The FDA now says the standards will take effect in April. Dine out and support young musicians at the Crooked Pint. It hosted an Aquinas Music Association fundraiser. 15% of the proceeds directly benefiting student musicians. Funds, they say, will help cover things like instrument repairs, uniforms, and travel expenses. The organization looking to raise $500 from the community event.
Last year we went and saw the Dallas String Quartet at the Turbo, and it was absolutely amazing, and we had a lot of front row tickets, and so we were able to go and see that, and yeah, the performance was just spectacular.
Some of the funds will also go toward the group's trip to Disney World. Telling hidden stories of our community's past, the Enduring Families Project unveils a new children's book highlighting an important look at a local historical figure. The project, which began in the late 2010s, works to share the overlooked history of early African American and non-white settlers in our area. News 8 Now's Allison Ferget reports.
It was just so eye-opening to realize that there were several African-American families who lived in the area.
The Enduring Families Project has used live performances and a video series to tell the story of historic figures, like George Edwin Taylor.
The first African-American to run for president in 1904 against Teddy Roosevelt.
Daryl Ferguson has played Taylor for the Enduring Families Project for the last 8 years. And in that time, the project has worked to reach a new, younger audience.
Teachers in the area came to me saying, okay, the videos are much too advanced for younger children. So they said, when are the books going to happen?
So for the past few years, Mormon, Krieger, and Ferguson have worked together to write A Long Way to Find a Home, the story of George Edwin Taylor as a child growing up in the La Crosse area.
The book itself is layered. There are a lot of layers in the development of George Edwin Taylor.
Although most famously known for his presidential candidacy, Taylor was also the editor of a local newspaper and an advocate for workers' rights. All of this after growing up an orphan.
He had to go through a lot, but there were a lot of other people who were also going through as much that supported him along the way.
It's a story of resilience and found family that Ferguson hopes connects with the area's youth.
Children can see themselves in George as a child. A lot of children are undergoing a lot of trials and tribulations. They are having a lot of troubles.
And now the book will be in classrooms across the Coulee region, teaching students that La Crosse's history is more diverse and relatable than they once thought.
The community can feel more united, more connected when they know there is so much history in La Crosse and its surrounding areas, and the umbrella encompasses all of us.
Reporting in La Crosse, Allison Ferget, News 8 Now this morning.
The Enduring Families Project is currently working on their second children's book, which will focus on the women's movement in La Crosse. Now we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got a look at our Tuesday morning commute.
All right, and away we go with that, holding on to this rainfall, working its way gradually across the United States. And you can see the high pressure building here and then kind of lifting up and then kind of dropping back down across just past us now because this system just kicked out over Lake Michigan. So that's the big time high pressure that's moving in. More moisture that we're expecting is right up to the north, as you can see there, and that will carry over as we go into tomorrow. So look at this, though. This is what's happening. We go through the day this morning. We'll start it out. It's a little bit on the colder side. You can see the turquoise color. That's the feels like temperature out there, and of course the temperature in larger in white there. We'll see it increasing as well as the clouds increasing as we go through the afternoon from partly to mostly cloudy skies. Picking up as we go into La Crosse, you're going to be seeing again 20s down to mostly 30s by the time you get in the 9 o'clock hour. We're also looking at temperatures, actual temperatures in the low 30s to the upper 30s, picking up to about 39 degrees and then getting closer as we get into the 40s as we hold on into 12 o'clock noon today. Partly cloudy skies ensue and then eventually get into mostly cloudy conditions, but we're holding on to the highs for the day, at least looking at say 41 to about say 53 degrees out there for the day. Once we get into it, the rain and snow will continue to work through the forecast as we go through the day. We thought most of this was going to drop back down to the south, but it doesn't look like it is. We go clearing and then back again at 3 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning with more snow back in the forecast, and that carries over into Thursday, continuing on till at least about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's your local weather.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Bennett is turning 8 weeks. He loves to snuggle and he loves to be with his mom and his sister.
And his dad, too. And Andrew's turning 8. He loves to support the Vikings and the Twins, you see here, build Legos, and go hunting with his dad.
How about Buck? He's turning 88 years old today. He enjoys fishing, woodworking, gardening, and spending time with his wife, Linda.
Happy birthday. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Coming up, UW La Crosse brings Shakespeare to life this weekend. We'll meet the cast of Much Ado About Nothing live in studio next.
Brad Schimmel wants to take us back to an abortion ban from 1849, back to a ban with no exceptions, not for rape or even health of the mother. Brad Schimmel, too extreme for women, too extreme for the Supreme Court.
You know what's on my mind? It's butt cold out here and I don't have any heat at home.
Well, gotta have heat, Einstein.
Up yours, smarty. I just don't know who to call.
Jacob said Chuck used the local company. The Primary Colors, the good one?
What?
What?
Huh?
Well, there's your sign.
Jeez Louise.
Moron.
Hey, putz.
Call GNC.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor has immediate openings and wants you to apply. They say this job takes grit, attention to detail, and ability to work as a team. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside.
Let us take care of you. With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Dreaming of a career but worried about time and cost? At CVTC, we make it easy. With low tuition costs and a wide variety of programs to choose from, we'll get you job ready in just 1 to 2 years. You'll graduate with minimal debt and find a career you love with competitive starting salaries. Dive into your future today with affordable, fast, and rewarding programs at CVTC. Visit cvtc.edu to learn more.
Brad Schimmel let thousands of rape kits sit untested for years.
While rapists walked free
and victims waited for justice.
Take it from a sheriff.
A sheriff.
A cop. Brad Schimmel's too extreme for the Supreme Court.
All right, well, good morning to you. Taking you right back out to La Crosse, going into the sunshine, showing more sunshine this time as we go through the 7 o'clock hour all the way into the 10 o'clock hour for you. Temperatures gradually rising up to the upper 30s. Eau Claire holding the same as well, and still holding on to partly cloudy skies. Not much change up there, going up from 30 to 36 degrees at the 10 o'clock hour. Kids going to school today, 32 degrees expected with, again, well above normal temperatures. And you also have partly cloudy skies. We're also going to be seeing the sunshine kind of mixing in there as well for you, but you'll have more sunshine later on in the afternoon. 49 degrees expected today, possibly getting into warmer temperatures near 50 degrees for you. All right, how about Eau Claire? Well, you're about 30 degrees, getting into partly cloudy skies, above normal by 17 degrees. Yikes, right? Well, way to go. All right, a little bit warmer, a little bit more comfortable to ride your bike to school today, possibly. And then 12 degrees above normal as you roll right into the afternoon. 44 degrees is going to be your high today. All right, so pick it up again in Eau Claire. We roll into the 7 o'clock hour, 30 degrees for you, holding on to at least 30 for Viroqua. La Crosse, maybe 32 degrees out there. Then eventually we'll hold on to temperatures up to 39. Well, to the north by Ladysmith, down to the south, you're looking at 46 degrees. Everybody else smack dab in the middle there. Carrying right back over to the 3 o'clock hour for our highs, as I mentioned before. You have the sunnier skies coming in, clicking into 49 for La Crosse, 42 for Eau Claire now, and then eventually you get into Sparta and Black River Falls. You're holding on to 47 degrees. Then in the evening hours, we increase the cloud cover coming into rain and snow mix popping into the picture there right by Eau Claire. You can see a little bit of that snow right there in the purple there. And then eventually you're going to see light to moderate rainfall popping in the picture. Most of this is staying up to the north. There is an area of low pressure that's associated with that as well, but we thought it was going to sling some of that moisture down to the south, but it looks like a lot of that moisture is going to stay up to the north. Some of it coalesces and gets a little bit deeper there, all the way down to Winona, possibly Black River Falls, and maybe even Sparta, dropping down on La Crosse by the time we get to the 9 o'clock hour going into Wednesday. And then that kind of brushes us, gets out of the way, clears out the skies by the time we get to 3 o'clock in the evening hours. And eventually, we're holding on to drier and cleaner skies, getting up to the north, though. Snow coming back at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then eventually that continues to bring a little bit more of that snow. Eventually that gets out of the way. That's finished as we go into the 11 o'clock hour for noon. All right, how about this? We go right back into the next few days as you're looking at the possibility of conditions to play out like this. 49 degrees for today, 45 for tomorrow with a wintry mix. We'll hold on to 43 to 56 degrees as you go into Thursday and Friday. 20% chance of rainfall coming in for Friday, maybe even turning into a little bit of snow, but for right now it's not looking too great for us because it's getting weaker. We'll go into Saturday, much colder, back down to 36, so a few degrees below seasonal average, and by 42 degrees coming in for Sunday, and then much warmer as we go into Monday. Temperatures back into the low 50s, 48 as we go into Tuesday.
All right, Art, thank you. Well, new this morning, A Shakespeare Classic is getting a new spin at UW La Crosse. The theater department's production of Much Ado About Nothing opens on Friday, and we are joined now by two members of the cast to talk about this timeless romantic comedy. Good morning to you both. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Nice to see you. So what makes Much Ado About Nothing one of Shakespeare's most beloved comedies?
Oh, it's one of the timeless classics, this story of two intertwining love stories that come together. It's a story about misadventure, finding oneself, and learning how to lose in love.
Okay, it's got all the elements.
Yes.
Well, it looks like you guys flipped the script a little bit here. Shakespeare originally set this in Sicily, and you guys have changed it to the French Riviera, I should say, or to the Italian Riviera, excuse me?
Yes, of course. So one of the great things about Shakespeare is because he's so old at this point, we can make some changes to the script that we like, sort of updating it for more of a modern audience to make it more accessible. We wanted to find a time to set it in that was, this show takes place after a great war, so we picked the time right after World War I. These soldiers are coming back to war and they can finally let loose for a little bit.
Okay, with maybe like a White Lotus vibe. That's what I think of, right?
Yeah.
With the Riviera there. Okay, interesting. So tell us a little bit about the relationship between Beatrice and Benedict. Why do audiences love them so much?
I would say it's because they follow that enemies to lovers trope that everybody just loves to watch.
Yeah.
And they have a bit of a competition of wits that is fun to watch them go through, and then just come together to work together in the end. Yeah.
Okay, and is that who you each play?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Now, did you guys find the language a little bit difficult with Shakespeare's language?
It was difficult for some of us because it was some of our first times, like people in the cast hadn't worked with Shakespeare's language before. We both have a little bit of experience working with Shakespeare, so that's always nice to have. And our professor, who was also our director, worked with us a lot on speaking the language, which was very helpful. And I think we've gotten to a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So we know it starts this weekend. Why would you encourage people to attend?
I know a lot of people are scared to come and see Shakespeare at some points, but we've done our very best to make this show very accessible. I just want to put it out there, you're not going to get every single word, but that is not the point of Shakespeare. You'll understand the language just by watching the physicality of the actors.
Okay.
And it's funny.
And it's funny,
yes, it's very funny.
Always some comedic relief to look forward to also. So yeah, tell us how we can get tickets.
If you go to the UWL Theater and Dance Department's website, you can get tickets on there or in person at our box office.
Okay, great. And shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Anything else you want the audiences to know?
I don't think so.
I think we've covered it all.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We're back right after this.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
The chips that you like are not on sale this week, so we're gonna have to skip those. Sorry, bud.
Aww. Hi, we're at Woodman's. I'm Clint. I'm Phil. At Woodman's, you don't need a flyer to find hot deals. With our everyday low prices and huge selection, you can find anything you're looking for. And still save big time on your whole grocery bill.
So I can get the groceries I want and save money? Looks like your chips are back on the list.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
It's
Woodman's.
At Castle Realty, we believe in more than just buying and selling homes. We believe in building communities and creating lasting memories. For over a decade, we've proudly served the Cooley region, helping dreams come true one family at a time. Thanks to our incredible community, we've been voted Best of La Crosse County for 7 years in a row. And now, we're asking for your support to make it 8. Head to bestoflacrossecounty.com to cast your vote. Castle Realty, from here, for you.
What do all these people have in common?
Larry, 35.
Tom, 40.
Mary, 63.
They all have a number.
Jerry, 18.
Linda, 50.
Don, 15. A number of miles they're willing to go to get the right vehicle for them at the right price.
Circle Ford on the sunny side of 61, Winona.
What's your number? Find out why it's worth the drive.
A child sex predator facing 100 years in prison after sexually assaulting 2 girls at the local pool. Just 6 and 7 years old, Susan Crawford, the radical liberal judge who let the predator out in just 4 years. For Susan Crawford, it's a pattern, putting pedophiles back on the street, free to prowl our pools and prey on our kids. Criminals are praying Susan Crawford gets elected because she fights for them, not us.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
People seem to have a lot of opinions about cases based on a very short snapshot.
It's giving me a better understanding.
There's a lot of in between, and it's very complicated, and I want people to realize.
Wednesday at 6, a first-hand look at what goes into the difficult decisions in our justice system.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Join the conversation at facebook.com/news8000. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
This is you, one place to the next. One more thing to check off the list. But stopping for 30 minutes? Well, that's just not an option. So that's why there's this, the News 8000 app. All your local news, plus a little bit beyond. So take a break when you want to.
Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app.
Welcome back at 6:52. Time for your morning news now. On Alaska, police identifying the man who fired shots at an apartment complex. That man is 54-year-old Kevin McDowell. Investigators say an argument led to the gunfire at the Braun Street apartment parking lot. One bullet hit McDowell's vehicle, another struck a garage. Police say they've responded multiple times for McDowell's erratic behavior. He now faces several charges. And a warning from local health officials this morning after a deadly Oakdale gas leak. The Monroe County Sheriff responded Sunday to find 2 people, including a juvenile, and 2 pets dead.
You can't see them, so you don't always know, like smoke, if you do have a leak.
Experts say recognizing these warning signs could save your family's life. Remember, headaches, nausea, and the smell of rotten eggs all mean get out of your house and call 911. And WisDOT issuing an alert this morning about online car scams. The agency is reporting a surge in fraudulent activity. They say scammers are creating fake dealership websites and social media pages. They post a vehicle at a suspiciously low price to lure victims. WisDOT recommends checking their active dealers list to verify any online seller is legitimate. And don't be alarmed by an increased police presence at the Whitehall Fire Station today and tomorrow. The Trempealeau County Sheriff's Office says it'll conduct training from 2 to 8 p.m. Officers may be carrying weapons and equipment, and residents might hear loud noises. No live ammunition will be fired during the exercises. Continued confusion this morning for more than 2 million federal workers following last night's deadline to respond to an email from Elon Musk. Hours before the cutoff, Musk vowed again to fire workers who didn't list 5 things they accomplished last week. But the threat followed word from the U.S. Office of Personnel Management that responses were, in fact, optional. Governor Tony Evers is facing some criticism over language in the state budget bill. The controversy centers on gender references in the in vitro fertilization section. The measure replaces mother with inseminated person and husband with spouse. Republicans quickly condemning that terminology.
We're working for the families in Wisconsin, especially those that are receiving IVF services, and making sure that we can make certain that the mom is able to get the services she deserves.
Republicans say the bill's language is offensive to mothers and that he's out of touch with ordinary citizens. Wisconsin Senator Baldwin held Medicaid discussions as congressional Republicans propose adding work requirements and reducing state funding, potentially cutting billions. Baldwin warns these changes would significantly harm seniors.
When you're talking about those types of dollars, he's not talking about eliminating waste or fraud or abuse. This goes much deeper into the very programs that you champion.
Baldwin introduced an amendment to protect senior benefits, but Senate Republicans rejected it. Catholic faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square for a second night of prayers for Pope Francis. The Vatican says the pontiff remains critical, but showed improved lab results. The bishop here reacting to the situation, saying, quote, "I ask the people of the Diocese of La Crosse and all of our neighbors to pray for Pope Francis in his time of need," end quote.
Well, happy Friday to you all. It's Friday. Happy Tuesday to you all. By Friday, I'm like, oh man, this week's already over. Hey, we've got partly cloudy skies, increasing to mostly cloudy skies later on today. Temperatures from the 40s to the 50s, those lower 50s, as you go from north to south through the area. We're also looking at, by the time we get to the late evening hours, we're looking at rain and snow mix moving into your forecast. That carries over into Wednesday. We'll see that continue through most of the day with about a 20% chance tapering off, and then eventually we'll get into Thursday with drier conditions, maybe a little bit of snow coming in, but it is a slight chance. Friday we have a little extra chance coming in with warmer temperatures on the way.
Birds of paradise discovered, sending secret color signals invisible to humans. New research reveals these exotic birds glow when viewed under blue or UV light. Scientists found this biofluorescence in various body parts, including their mouths. Researchers believe the hidden color may play a role in territorial disputes or attracting mates. I just think they look like trolls.
Yeah, trolls or heat misers.
Yeah, that guy too.
That guy? Yeah.
Or my hair. Yeah, after I blow dry it. Well, thank
I have
you.
no hair anymore.
Oh man, I've done it again. All right, well, thank you for starting your morning with us. We'll see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your day.